Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed, and speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individuals or staff-related matters. All cell phones and electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. I'd like to call the meeting of the Terrebonne Parish Council of Wednesday, January 10th, 2024 to order. We will have the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilman Carl Harding. Please rise.
Heavenly Father, as the blood runs warm in our body, O God, we would ask that your Holy Spirit come within this place, that it will illuminate throughout Terrebonne Parish, to go to those that are widows and orphans and those that are downtrodden, O God, those that are led and misled, O God, looking for guidance. I ask you, O God, on this day that you look down on this government, O God, give them and us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from on high, that we may show love and patience and kindness and compassion for one for another, that we may unify ourselves, that we be a beacon light for the rest of the world to show how this world should always be. We ask that you bless us in your darling Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. May we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Pledger, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity,
Here.
Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner, Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Trusclair. Madam Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am.
That was last year.
Sorry.
Kim, I didn't realize you were elected chair. All right. So as I said in my acceptance speech, we will have a few faux pas, but we'll get through it all. Approve the minutes of the regular council session held on December 13th, 2023. Moved by Mr. Steve Trusclair, seconded by Ms. Kim Chauvin. Members, please vote your machines. Can you set that on? Our assistant clerk ran up to get something, so we're gonna limp through this a little bit. We would just, if you can't do it, we'll just do a voice vote. Okay, we'll do a couple voice votes before he gets back. So all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Distribute the minutes of the regular council held on December 20th, 2023. We've been done. It's been done. Approve accounts payable list, bill list for the 12/27/2023 and 12/29/2023 and 1/8/2024. Moved by Mr. Pledger. Second by Mr. Harding. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to entertain a motion to recess for a few minutes while our assistant clerk returns with a very important document. So Mr. Trusclair makes the motion, second by Mr. Champagne. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. So now we have a motion to go back into regular order by Mr. Trusclair, second by Mr. Harding. All in favor? Any opposed? Fantastic. We'll get through this. Item 1, general business. A commendation commending Mr. Edward Lawson for his service through hard work and dedication to TPCG for the past 40 years. Mr. Bergeron, could you request to speak? There you are, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I'd like to read this commendation. Whereas Edward Lawson began his service to Terrebonne Parish as a firefighter in February of 1983 until January of 1987. And whereas he was then hired on as a temporary interviewer with Job Training Partnership Act program, JTPA. And whereas he was then transferred to Louisiana Job Employment Training Program, LEGET, and served as assistant coordinator, employee and training manager, and finally as coordinator. And whereas Edward was promoted to customer service manager on January 23rd, 1991, and has held that title until his retirement. And whereas Edward has served Terrebonne Parish through hard work and dedication for the past 40 years. And whereas January 19th, 2024 will mark the last day of his employment and the beginning of his well-deserved and hard-earned retirement. And whereas Edward will be missed by his fellow friends and coworkers throughout the government. And whereas, although Edward's retirement will leave behind a void, we wish him the best with his adventures and opportunities that lay ahead. And whereas we hope that his retirement will give him much needed time to enjoy with his family and friends. And whereas the parish president, along with all of those whom he has served long and well, wish to extend their heartfelt appreciation to Edward for his dedication to the parish of Terrebonne throughout the past 40 years. Now therefore be it proclaimed by Parish President Jason W. Bergeron and the entire Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government that the extraordinary service of Edward Lawson to the people of Homewood Terrebonne community is hereby publicly acknowledged, and that he's extended the sincerest best wishes for his future.
I'm a situate y'all. Okay, so Mr. Carter, can you move just a tad bit behind Mr. John? Right there. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, gentlemen. Perfect.
Say a few words. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on. Okay, good enough.
So, Mr. Lawson, do you want to say a few words before some of the council members address you, sir?
Yeah, just want to thank everyone for this recognition for sure. I tell you what, this journey that I've been on couldn't have been done as successful as I feel I've done it without that supportive wife that I have there. You know, she's always been that rock, that person to keep me grounded when on those days when it was tough. You know, those times when she knows I wouldn't even go grocery shopping with her because people would see me and I'd be just that face of TPCG, employment opportunities, utility assistance help, whatever it may be. But anyway, this has been a journey, and the wall reflects my 40 years. Every one of those guys, you know, before Bubba became mayor, he's parish president, he was the mayor, so I served in his time as well. So, but anyway, again, thank you all so very much. What we got?
Mr. Brian Pleasure?
I think congratulations to you, Mr. Lawson, but also I want to share with the rest of the folks here and also the viewing public, echo the sentiments of your wife of 40 years. Takes a lot. Takes a lot. And I really want to commend her as well because she's a part of this also. But outside of that, I would like to share some other, in your humbleness, some other achievements, things that you were able to achieve after giving and doing all the hard work you did for Terrebonne Parish. And some of you will be surprised. Former licensed bail bondsman, bounty hunter, recovery agent, current commissioned deputy sheriff working in both corrections and with the transitional work release program, currently serves on the Bayou Cane Fire District Board an active member of the Terrebonne Marine Corps League and the American Public Power Association, has served on various boards, including Nichols State University Fundraising Committee, LJCMC Foundation Committee, official with LHSAA, mentor with LA Youth Challenge Program, TARC Board of Directors, Manning Passing Academy Directors, Leadership Terrebonne Alumni. Again, thank you, Mr. Lawson.
Mr. Carl Harding.
Marine, Terrebonne High School graduate. They said Edward here. We know Big Ed. We know Tree. And I think in some areas people call you the king. Because there's some neighborhoods that he's have to send out the Prince of Darkness. When you see that truck rolling through, your light's gonna get cut off. Now, that's the key point. 40 years. I've witnessed this man. What's written on that piece of paper right there, you can't imagine how many people this man here helped. That's the care and the compassion he had. Rules come down from the top, they can slightly get flexible. The laws, I've called him many times when people are in dire needs. And the parish rules have changed a little stricter than what it is right now. But then this man right here, who's gonna replace him? You're replacing, yeah, I tell you what, you know what I mean? He's an icon. That's why he goes and his wife is over there. And I remember when we started working in the fire department in the parish got into this situation where this young man at the time with his wife, he said 40 years here, his wife 40 years. You went through the hardships and you remain loyal here. You know what I mean? You're not turning out the light. I think somebody up here might turn out the light, but right now you're not turning out the light. I don't see no clock in your hand. I don't see no watch on your wrist. I don't see no key to the city or anything like that. But I promise you, your name will never be forgotten in Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate everything you've done, not just for me, but my friends and my family. Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Hoorah.
Miss Candace Malden. Now you're in trouble, Mr. Ed, because when her light comes on.
It's all great.
No, I just want to thank Ed. As part of the finance department and customer service division, when I came on 8 years ago, it was an easy transition because Ed knew what he was doing and he took care of things. I am going to miss Big Ed. I'm going to miss his smile and his positivity, and he can come visit anytime. And thank you for your last 40 years.
She might even let you do something if you show up. I'd be leery. I'd be leery. Mr. Steve Trostler.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. Look, I just want to, thank you, Mr. Chair. Ed, I want to congratulate you on your retirement. I know you've been looking forward to it and appreciate everything you've done for the parish. But my point of putting my light on is with what Councilman Pledger and Harding, when they talked about you, I know it's not politically correct to ask a man's age, but you got to be 120, huh?
Ain't that something, brother?
It just shows what type of individual you are, what type of man, what type of person you are.
Right.
You know, you give of yourself, no matter where it's at and who it's for. So we appreciate that, and thanks a lot, and good luck in all your future journeys.
Thank you, Mr. Trostler.
That's it. Good. All right. Thank you so very much. Thank you
All right, Mr. Ed, I was going to say.
All you guys, thank y'all.
Mr. Ed, I was going to say, I don't know where you found time, but that really exemplifies the sacrifice that you and your family have made for all the accomplishments that you've done in this parish. We'll miss you. So good luck in your new venture, and hopefully she ain't got too big of a to-do list for you. All right, item 2, public wishing to address the council. Item A, Mr. Reggie Berg wishes to address the council regarding FEMA's failure on housing after Hurricane Ida. B, I don't have it.
There you go. There you go.
Item 1B. Yes, sir. Take that.
Well, I'll use Brian's real quick. All right, so give us just a minute. Mr. Berg, let me just take care of one thing under general business, item B, because my copy didn't reflect it. It's a resolution expressing the parish council's support of Terrebonne Parish's continued contracting with HTV to provide for specified airtimes. This has been pulled by Mr. Trosclair, and now we can move on. So, Mr. Reggie, let me get you set up, sir. There you go, sir. It's all yours.
And I want to say, first of all, thank you and welcome to Terrebonne Parish, the new council members, all of you. Been a long time since I've been here, and in a sad way to say, I have to come here and speak about Hurricane Ida and my personal experience. It's really has been bad. In saying this, I kind of put two references together, and there's some information that I got, unfortunately, at the dumpster, LADCMP, and disaster management program. Yeah, okay. And it's kind of the stuff I've been talking about. And let me kind of sidetrack and try to find my way back. Is that I'm in the process of creating a community watch program in the Magnolia Park, where I live now, in a camper trailer. Okay, and so and the idea there is to, well, I'm seeing a lot of blue tarps. I have water consistently raining through my roof from the trailer I got supposedly through FEMA, through the Catholic Church, and to me. I lost a $25,000 mobile home that I had paid for and just put a brand new roof on. And it's gone. And what I'm living in now, I would dare to say, is a less than $2,000 piece of junk of a camper trailer that's 14 years old, and having to look at changing the roof on it as I did on the trailer that I lost. Okay, so it's not a good story, and I'm gonna tell you all that right now. Okay, when I was in college, the statement came that, and it's about doing research, and when you look at problems and how to solve problems, and there was this saying in this book that I had that most always the problem you find is far greater than the problem you're given. You know? And boy, for true. Okay, so I moved from Lower Dulac, where I had been living. I got the trailer right after the storm. I moved to a Magnolia Park, and Magnolia Park neighborhood watch kind of thing. And, it goes along and kind of like the idea of a mission statement. Why you want to do this? What do you want to do? Well, you want to make your living conditions better. You want to make your neighborhood safer. Who wouldn't want that? And this document here, that's, I would say, widely spread out and given to the public, it says recovery plan assistance, application assistance for FEMA as BA and insurance, access to local resources, home repairs, damage, and it's like all over the bottom. If you haven't seen this, you might want to take a look at it. And the title up on top is the Louisiana Disaster Care Management Program, right here. And if y'all want a copy, I'd be glad to give y'all one.
Mr. Reggie, could you hang on for just a second?
Second.
I got a motion to extend by Mr. Harding, second by Mr. Pledger. Members, vote your machine. Just a procedure we have to do, sir. Thank you for your patience. Yeah. All right, there you go, sir. We generally give 3 minutes and a 1 minute extension, so let's see if we can, if you can get it
I'm
out
gonna
in a
say
minute.
thank you, I appreciate that, but I need 10, okay?
I understand.
And it's, first of all, I'm gonna say it's a sad affair when you don't want to hear the whole story, okay?
We-
And one of the main things I've come here,
Mhm.
and when I started asking certain council members that are sitting there, now I'm not gonna name anybody,
That's fine.
that
We don't want you.
FEMA or FEMA's in the process, so says FEMA, but it's CDBG Rapid Rehousing. That's what's on this paperwork. And they are basically kicking people out of the camper trailers and they have no place to go. And many of these people didn't have a camper trailer before the storm and aren't working. And so, again, that's part of my reasoning for a community watch, neighborhood watch program. And one of the first things I would ask you all is, and I already inquired, getting buses down there, make it where people can get a job. I have this woman that told me, Mister, I clean house, I'll do anything, but I can't walk to home. And that's really close by. And you know, it's not safe for a woman to really even walk or ride a bicycle. And we need to have transportation, okay? And so I would say that's one of the main issues we're going to start this off. But I submitted a legal document to Mr. Robbie right there, and the document is in reference to me and the trailer that I lost, and me owning and having possession of that trailer for more than 10 years. Who's the attorney? This lady right here? Who's the attorney? Okay, okay. Possession, prescription of 10 years for movables. A mobile home is a movable. I have a sworn, not certified, but Ms. Babin, notarized document, and a witness that I own that trailer for more than 10 years. I submitted it to FEMA because I couldn't find the paperwork. I'm not going to get into that story because at 10 minutes it's going to go to 30, if I would, okay? And thank you. I know I passed a minute already. Yeah, thank you, okay? So the thing about that is I submitted my paperwork to FEMA as proof that I was the owner. Nobody else was claiming the trailer. There's no any kind of legal paperwork submitted or whatever. It's my trailer. I couldn't find the title because of the storm, busted up everything, and like I said, it's extenuating circumstances. I couldn't get back to where the trailer was. They refused to ask, you know what I mean, to grant my claim because I couldn't submit the paperwork. But I submitted that legal document of prescription for 10 years of a movable. Okay, Mr. Robbie has that. Next council meeting, I'm gonna give whoever you all want a copy, and what I ask Mr. Robbie is to submit it to the attorney and give me an answer, yes or no. You know, no, I'm not an attorney. Some 20 years ago, I went to Nickel State and I took some introductory legal research classes, part of the curriculum that I was in. I could stop right now and say thank y'all for listening to me. And that's pretty much all I can go.
Mr. Berg, so I understand the plight. Many people are in the same situation that you're in. It's not the first time that we've heard that. But let me ask you more specific, what exactly are you asking this council to help you with?
Well, first of all, a legal opinion
Okay,
of the paperwork that I submitted is right or wrong. Just that simple.
Okay.
And it's something that's copied out of the green books from a law librarian, probably right there at Nicholls State University.
okay,
And you know, basically, uh, my ownership of more than 10 years, notarized, and uh, nothing to say on the other side that none of this happened and why FEMA rejected my claim.
right.
Okay?
Okay, I have a couple of people that want to ask you some questions, if that's all right. Just hang there for just a minute. We'll start with Mr. Carl Harding.
Yes, and I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you loud and clear. I think I lost a lot of people in the high rise and things like that, and they are somewhat displaced, and we are handling the quality of life in Terrebonne Parish. But then Mr. Pulaski here, he's been giving some classes and stuff like that, and Mr. Robbie, I'm pretty sure that we can actually get some numbers to him and the legal advice, or hopefully through whatever Chris is doing, because we have outreach. I have some understanding about Restore and all of these things, but then the legal matters and the red tape that some of the citizens of Terrebonne Parish has been going through, we've been fighting for that. So you're not the only one in that boat. And we're going to try to roll this boat down the road, down the river, where we can actually give some assistance and come up with perhaps some programs through everyone that's here to give all the citizens of Terrebonne Parish an opportunity for a better way of life. You know, thank you. Yeah,
Response?
Yes.
You can talk to me.
That the lady at this LDMC that I called, and I said, well, look, it's 2 years past the storm. I said, is this still available? She said, yes, sir. And I said, well, how do you get? She said, call in, and we fill you out an application, and you ask for what you need, and we'll get it started like that. That was just a couple days ago. Sure, sure.
The question. When did you start the process? You know, what I mean, after the hurricane, just recent months, because there were some deadlines, and we have to go over these deadlines and stuff like that. So not only to you, to those people that are listening too, there are certain deadlines.
Process of my FEMA claim.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit late, I have to admit that. And it might have been 5 or 6 weeks because I was living under one of my friend's mama's house for that 6 weeks time after the hurricane.
Mhm.
Yes, under the house. And I made me a tent and I wrapped it around 4 pilings and I had a bed and I had a barbecue pit and his brother was sleeping in the house up above. I was in a safe place down in July, okay? And I lived there for 6 weeks. Now, you know, because I had a safe place to stay, I didn't, you know, I looked at the setup of, can't think of the word, well, places where you could go, shelters, right? You know, different parts of the city. And it just wasn't my thing. And I felt, you know, better at home, down by, in a sense, and, you know, close to family. But basically, I was homeless in our house, okay? And so, um, shucks, senior moment. uh, uh, let me just kind of take it like that and say, I like, next question if there was one. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Ms. Chauvin.
Mr. Berg, have you contacted like Senator Kennedy's office or Senator Cassidy? Because I know that there are aides that will definitely,
I
they're
tried with,
designed to help you along the way. And I know that you're asking for a legal opinion, but maybe they can get to something because they're actually in DC. and maybe that might be a way to get quicker, you know,
well, anything.
response.
Well, because of this this FEMA thing picking up the trailers, and my health is much better than it was last year, and still have back trouble, and maybe even possibility of surgery in the near future.
Mhm.
Okay, so but this thing about picking up the FEMA trailers pushed me over the edge to where I have to come here and have to tell my story and trying to get some of the other stories.
Okay,
Okay?
I
The
understand.
answer is no. I have not reached out to those high-level senators. The
Okay.
answer is no.
If I were you, I would at least try that also. Hit
Uh,
every avenue that you
Everything's on
can.
the table. I'm gonna say it like
Okay.
that. Right now, for the time that I have left, and believe you me, no stone will be unturned. But from what I know of the law, uh, that applies to me, and I can barely afford it now to get an attorney to give me a legal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of think in the interest of good government, you know what I mean? It's kind of like I could get something from you all
Mhm.
about that because the FEMA claim, see,
Okay.
it's y'all connection to the FEMA claim and or CDBG, however you want to put it.
Mhm.
And I feel like I was mistreated and I shouldn't, I should have gotten some compensation for my mobile home. And now the ongoing trouble that me and dozens of people at the
So, Mr. Berg, we have one more
thank you.
council member waiting.
Yeah,
Let's get to him.
okay, go ahead.
Mr. Berg, I can appreciate you coming before the council to share your thoughts. And when you were given my phone number, I won't say by whom, okay? I did my part, and I'm going to continue to do my part, just like I did with you before, with the gentleman on the phone, with Louisiana Housing. You remember that?
Vaguely, but yes, I don't remember his
I
name.
will, you have my phone number.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to call me again, and I will help you out as best I can. However, the council, it's kind of a different entity. But I'm going to point you in the right direction and put you where you need to be to see if you can get the help that you desire. Because now you are a part of District 1, and I won't kick the can down the road like before. I answered you, and I'm going to take care of you as best I can.
Appreciate any cooperation. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pleasure. Mr. Robbie Lee?
Just real quick, I did get his FEMA case number. With my time in government, one good thing that came out of HIDA was I made some friends in FEMA housing. I did get his case number pushed along to try to figure out what's going on. The second I get an answer, I did grab Mr. Reggie's phone number. I'll more than loop everyone in when I do find out what's going on. Okay.
Thank you,
perfect.
Mr. Lee. So, Mr. Berg, it sounds like you've got some people behind you now that's gonna push some things forward. Thank you for coming, bringing it to our attention. Like I said, we've been hearing from a lot of people in the parish, and
I would
We'll-
invite.
we'll
I would
be praying
invite-
with you to see that.
I would invite some people just to take a drive down there and just look around.
Yeah,
A picture's worth
1,000 words.
1,000
Absolutely.
words. Yes, indeed.
Thank you, sir. Motion to go to 6:30 public hearing.
Motion to go into 6:30 public hearings?
So we have a motion to go to 6:30 public hearing by Mr. Pleasure, second by Mr. Harding. Members, please vote your machines. Okay. 9 yeas, 0 nays. We're in 6:30 public hearings. Item A, an ordinance in accordance with Chapter 2, Article 10, Section 2-229 of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances, an ordinance to authorize the appointment of Anthony J. Alfred Insurance Corporation to serve as agent of record for the life, disability, and other benefits commencing on January 1st, 2024, and effective through December 31st, 2024, with the option to renew for 2 additional one-year terms as more fully described herein.
So moved.
We need a call for public first. So, public once, public twice, third time public. I have a motion to close by Mr. Steve Trusclair, seconded by Mr. Carl Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, motion carries. Motion to adopt, Mr. Pleasure, seconded by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item B, an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 9410 and to declare Terrebonne Parish tax parcel number 32061 with a municipal address of 302 Island Road and an owner record of Luke Knockin as surplus and not needed for public purpose. Call for public once, 2 times public, third and final time public. Motion to close, Mr. Trusclair, seconded by Mr. Carl Harding. Members, please vote your machine. 9-0. Motion to adopt, Mr. Trusclair, second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. Everybody voted? We're on B, yeah. Still on B. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item C, an ordinance to authorize the acquisition of property located at 105 Bayou Guillaume. Tell me, Danny. Guillaume. All right. Houma, Louisiana, 70363 to be donated by the Louisiana Land Trust to authorize the parish president or his authorized designee to execute any and all documents necessary to acquire said property. Call for public once. Second call public. Third and final call public. Motion to close, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Trusclair. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Trusclair. Members, we have one for discussion. Ms. Kim Chauvin.
Okay, as I was reading this part of it, I'm kind of wondering a few things when it comes to the donation of land. One, when the Louisiana Land Trust has a piece of property, do they not have to pay homestead exemption? I mean, do they not have to pay taxes on it? Because in it, so they don't have to. Okay. The second part, when we're looking at having land donated, like I read through this thing, and so the housing authority had it after or before, and there were fines that were placed upon it. Does that follow whom they're donating it to, or did they have to pay the fines? Because and this is like from 2017. Listen, I went in there and I read this whole entire thing, and I'm just kind of wondering, what do we do when people owe fines and they just move the property along the way?
Ms. Neal?
Thank you. From what I understand, this property is one of the last properties left over in a federal program. Federal government came in and acquired a bunch of property that was susceptible to flooding and maybe was damaged by some hurricanes. Under the program, the parish would find people to, there's actually an authorization under the program for the Louisiana Land Trust to sell these properties and or to donate these properties. A lot of them were sold off, from what I understand, to buyers. This was the one that just didn't go. So their program is ending. In fact, very soon, Louisiana Land Trust program, and they have a deadline to offload the rest of the properties, which I think this is the last one. So they're offloading it to the parish so that the parish can maybe make some good use out of it in the community.
Okay, so then my next question would be, what does the parish plan to do with this piece of property? Because I mean, I've looked at it. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. How will it be kept up? What's the kind of cost that's going to be involved in just having land donated to the parish that is going to be going to have to be kept up? And I don't think there are any structures on it, but is there any hazardous waste? Has anything been underneath there? And the reason why I ask these questions is because I just found this out about another piece of property in Chauvin, that it's a mess and nobody knew until somebody inquired about it. So my question still remains is, what does the parish plan to do with it? What will be the cost associated with keeping it up? Or will they try and sell it? And is it going to be sellable?
So the answer to that is the parish owns a lot of property like this. Sometimes the parish acquires it for people who don't pay their taxes. Sometimes they acquire it because of liens for condemnations that don't get paid. It just kind of accumulates, and the parish tries to take care of the grass. They surplus the property Sometimes they try to sell the property to the highest bidder. If that doesn't work, they always have, there are programs through the Housing and Human Services Department or through some of the community nonprofits in the area that are willing to take on these properties and either turn them into low to moderate income housing, sometimes green space. I've seen them given to parks, I want to say like some of the district recreation districts before for use in parks. So there's all sorts of different things. I don't think that, I'm not aware of a plan for this one yet. All I know is that the Louisiana Land Trust had to do something with it before they lost the ability to do something with it.
Okay. I
Mhm.
just looked at it, it's in a very low-lying area, and whatever
Mhm.
they do, it is going to cost some serious amounts of money. Okay.
Yeah, just to speak to Kim's question, we're not gonna be encumbered with any fines or debt on this property?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. We're ready to vote. Vote your machines. Ordinance is adopted. 8 yeas, 1 nay. I have a motion to go back in the regular order by Mr. Babin, seconded by Mr. Carl Harding. Members, vote your machines. We're back in the regular order. Item B, Ms. Tina Verrett wishes to address the council regarding CDBG rapid rehousing and assistance with her camper. Is she here tonight? Okay. She's not here. We're gonna move on to item C. As per speaker cards, in accordance with section 2-07E of the Terrebonne Parish Home Rule Charter, the public will be heard and can speak for 3 minutes on any matter related to parish government without discussion or questions and answers on non-agenda items. We have no speaker cards tonight. Item 3, committee reports. Item A, Budget and Finance Committee, Mr. Pledger. If you can.
Make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Budget and Finance Committee held on January 9th, 2024, and I have 2 public hearings. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2024 adopted operating budget and budgeted positions of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items and to provide for related matters. Item 1, Parish President Department plus $236,246. Number 2, Communications Department, $365,739. Number 3, General Fund, Cultural Enrichment, $0. Number 4, Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, $73,592. Number 5, General Fund, a plus of $243,750. Number 6, Risk Management, $26,823. Number 7, Human Resources, $27,491. Number 8, Quality of Life, $15,056. Number 9, Civic Center, $0. Number 10, Public Safety Fund, $93,480. And calling a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, January 24th at 6:30 p.m. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2024 adopted operating budget, 5-year capital outlay budget, and budgeted positions of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items and to provide for related matters. Number 1, Road Construction Fund, $15,900. Number 2, Bayou Terrebonne Miter Gate, $500,000. Number 3, Company Canal Miter Gate, $500,000. Number 4, Hollywood Road Extension Bridge, plus $36,000. Number 5, Parish-wide Recreation Department, $5,000. Number 6, Animal Shelter, $26,934. Add 2 part-time animal shelter attendants, grade 102, and calling a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, January 24th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
We have a motion by Mr. Pledger, a second by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item B, Community Development and Planning Committee, Ms. Kim Chauvin. If you could press your request to speak, please.
I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Community Development and Planning Committee held on January 9th, 2024, and I have one public hearing. Consider the introduction of an ordinance authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement or right of use agreement between TPCG and Fletcher Technical Community College for access to drainage ditch and calling a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, January 24th, 2024 at 6:30 PM.
We have a motion by Ms. Chauvin, a second by Mr. Trosclair. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item C, Policy, Procedure, and Legal Committee, Mr. Hamner.
I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Policy, Procedure, and Legal Committee held on January 9th, 2024, and I have one public hearing. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend certain sections of Chapter 2, Administration, Article 4, Administrative Organizational Structure of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances pursuant to the authority of Section 4-13 of the Home Rule Charter to change and reallocate the functions, powers, duties, and responsibilities of certain departments, to amend the administrative organizational chart accordingly, and to further amend portions of the code to avoid conflicts with the reorganization of the parish departments, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, January 24th, 2024 at 6:30 PM.
We have a motion by Mr. Hamner, a second by Mr. Pledger. Members, vote your machine. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 4, streetlights. As per Mr. Pledger, second, I heard somebody, Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 5, appointments to various boards, committees, and commissions. Item A, Fire Protection District Number 4 Board, 3 expired terms. Mr. Cyril A. Kirby Verrett expresses his interest in being reappointed. Mr. Louis Petrie expresses his interest in being reappointed.
Open, close, and reappoint Mr. Barrett and Mr. Petrie and hold the other open.
We have a motion by Mr. Babin to open, close, and appoint Mr. Verrett and Mr. Petrie and hold the other open. Second by Mr. Carl Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item B, Fire Protection District Number 5, 1 expired term. Mr. Jan Rogers expresses his interest in being reappointed.
Second.
We have a motion to open, close, and reappoint Mr. Rogers, seconded by Mr. Steve Trosclair, seconded by Mr. Brian Pledger. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item C, Fire Protection District Number 7, 3 expired terms. Mr. Bruce R. Wolf expresses his interest in being reappointed. Mr. Marty L. Dupre expresses his interest in being reappointed. Mr. Thomas A. Horn expresses his interest in being reappointed.
Open, close, and appoint Mr. Bruce R. Wolf, Mr. Marty Dupre, Mr. Thomas Horn.
So we have a motion. We have a motion by Mr. Harding to reappoint Mr. Wolf, Mr. Dupre, and Mr. Horn, seconded by Ms. Chauvin. Members, vote your machines. 7 yeas, 3 nays, motion carries. Item D, Cocho Fire Protection District, 3 expired terms. Ms. Patricia Prestonback expresses her interest in being reappointed. Mr. Robert Parr expresses his interest in being reappointed. We have a motion to open, close, and reappoint Ms. Prestonback, Mr. Parr, and hold the third by Mr. Trosclair, seconded by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item E, Village East Fire Protection District Board, 4 expired terms. Mr. Louis Prospery Jr. expresses his interest in being reappointed. Mr. Roy J. Desmore expresses his wishes in being reappointed. Mr. Lydell Crochet expresses his wishes in being reappointed. And Mr. Cody Ritchie submits application for consideration.
Make a motion that we open, close, and reappoint Mr. Prospery, Mr. Desmore, and Mr. Crochet, and appoint Mr. Ritchie.
We have a motion by Mr. Trusclair to reappoint Mr. Prospery, Mr. Desmore, and Mr. Crochet, and appoint Mr. Ritchie. Seconded by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Item F, Recreation District 2-3 Board, 1 vacancy due to resignation. Mr. Roy Miller Jr. submits application and resume for consideration.
Motion to appoint Mr. Miller.
So we have a motion to open, close, and appoint Mr. Miller by Mr. Brian Pleasure, seconded by Mr. Hamner. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Item 6, vacancies to various boards, committees, and commissions. Item A, Recreation District Number 3A Board, 2 vacancies. Fire Protection District Number 4 Board, 1 expired term. Fire Protection District Number 8 Board, 3 expired terms. Fire Protection District Number 9 Board, 3 expired terms. Fire Protection District Number 10 Board, 3 expired terms. Bayou Cane Fire Protection District Board, 1 expired term. Cocho Fire Protection District Board, 1 expired term. Homer Restoration District, 1 vacancy due to a resignation. Recreation District Number 8 Board, 1 vacancy. Recreation District Number 11 Board, 1 vacancy. Item 7, staff reports. Item A, consideration of Parish President Jason Bergeron's appointment of directors, department heads.
Make a motion to accept and hold for 2 weeks.
I have a motion to accept and hold for 2 weeks by Mr. Babin, seconded by Mr. Steve Trosclair. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 7B, pursuant to Section 2-73, 2-98, and 4-3 of the Parish Code, Parish President Jason Bergeron requests acceptance of his recommendation, Ms. Michelle Neal as Parish Attorney, also his recommendation of Ms. Courtney Alcock, Mr. Derek Bursajay, Mr. Kentley Fairchild, Mr. Tanner McGee, Mr. Neil Montgomery, Ms. Amanda Mustin, Ms. Brianna Orgeron, Mr. Gary Williams, and Mr. Patrick Yancey as assistant parish attorneys. And it did make it onto the agenda, but there were also Special Assistant Kelly Savan and Elton Duncan III, and temporary assistant attorneys Jules Hebert and Brian Marceau for the record.
Accept and hold for 2 weeks.
I have a motion by Mr. Babin to accept and hold for 2 weeks, seconded by Mr. Hamner. Members, please vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 8, monthly engineering reports, as per Mr. Trusclair. Second, Mr. Pleasure. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Announcements. Mr. Parish President, you have any announcements? Nothing, thank you. Council members, any council members for announcements? Mr. Steve Trosclair, you want to do your usual? You're good? All right. Next item,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
I did it.
You have something, Mr.? Okay.
No, I just, and we said it last night and we've said it before, but I want to welcome all the new members to the council here. Everyone that had committees did an outstanding job. It's a learned experience. It's easy, all right? And everybody handled it with dignity and grace, all right? So thank you all very much.
So I have a motion adjourned by Mr. Pleasure, second by Mr. Babin. Members, please vote your machines. Thank you, everyone, and please enjoy your evening.